I'm Pocket.
I'm Junior.
This is the Kings of the Late Night Show. Fuck you.
That's how we're gonna open it.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to open it. I finally got him to say he's going to drink whiskey today with me. He
I'll
never
fucking
touches
drink
it. He just
whiskey.
cries. He's like, it's not tequila.
I will pour
Mind you,
myself some whiskey. I'm not a whiskey man, but I
my,
will have some.
I could bring you in some tequila, but it's going to put you on your ass.
I have tequila on that shelf. What are you talking about?
I got better tequila.
I doubt that.
Oh, I guarantee I have better tequila.
How's a white boy gonna know anything about tequila?
Who says I'm white? I'm albino. Get it right.
Albino.
Yeah, I'm so Mexican that I'm white.
That should scare you.
I know, right?
Oh shit.
No, what scares me is being a father and growing up on Mexican food and not being able to have Mexican food every day because I have white kids and a white wife and albino.
Wait, so you're telling me that you grew up on rice and beans?
Yes, living off mi abuela's rice and beans.
You see that? Fucking white boy. Mi abuelas.
This is mi abuela. I say my abuela. I call her abuela, but it's me. I don't count my brothers. They don't count anymore. Fuck them.
I hear that.
I mean,
So you're well, fuck, what was his name? What's your brother's name again?
which one?
Fucking the one that was working back in
Bobby?
the day with us, Bobby. What the fuck's Bobby up to?
He's working at another casino. So Grand Sierra Resort up there in Reno. They have a mother casino down in Vegas, and that's one he's working at. That's one that my dad got him into because again, dad being a surveillance director at the main property kind of helps out with getting him a job down there.
Okay. Shit. Now I want to cue back on that when you said about being a father. Okay, elaborate a little bit more on that. Being a father is what?
Well, think about it. I've been a father for my oldest is 14, going on 15 this year. There's been struggles, ups and downs, man. I mean, you're not there yet, but you're gonna be. And you got a daughter, you got to worry a lot more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, being a father can be hard sometimes, especially with my 5-year-old. Trying to teach them a little bit of what's the fucking word I'm looking for?
Discipline?
Nah, like a fine balance of discipline at the same time, but
You,
trying to encourage him a little bit more. It's harder for him because I'm like, I feel like he's more of on the sensitive side, but that could be for 5-year-old shit. I've only been a dad for a couple years, you know what I mean?
my kids were crying constantly. Like, I told them no to something and they go to throw a fit. You have to be stirred and you have to hold your ground. Because again, if you're friends with them, you can be friends. But if you're over friendly and treat them like friends, they're gonna wind up being those kids that we work with.
See, now that's the problem though. How do you find balance that with mom? Mom plays the
So,
what?
so mom's supposed to be the one that is the caregiver. She is supposed to be there to show them love, help them understand their feelings. A father's job is to pick them up, especially sons, pick them up and say, "Get up, you're okay. It's fine."
Okay.
And vice versa, moms for daughters are supposed to pick them up, tell them they're fine. Dads are the ones that care about them. Mom will give them information that they need, like how to handle breakups, how to go through their period, what a period is, all that. That's a mom's job. They'll do that for you. Your
What's
job is to be the supportive role model for the male.
what's the limit though to a mom? You already know. I can speak from it like firsthand. You know what it is. My old lady should be doing the same things. You know what I mean? Like I could sit there and I can tell Renzo, my son, he'll cry over something simple, whether it's, I just bought him that whole next game system. The next game system is basically you don't need a controller or anything. You basically go off of movements and everything else. It can vary from bowling to, playing these little dancing games, whatever.
Are you sure you're not white? Because you got money to spend.
No, man, I work my ass off, you know what I mean? So they can live the life of comfort.
Fair.
But what I'm saying is on that specific game, you know what I mean? And by the way, it's at Walmart for $249.99. That game specifically, he sat there and he cried because it wasn't something he was used to. And as soon as I say something that's on the verge of like, hey, stop crying, stop doing this. You know how sometimes our women will give us that look like maybe you're being too hard. Maybe you're being so what's the word?
Tough.
No. God damn it. Not like you know what I mean? Like I can't think of the damn word. Not comforting enough or you know what I mean?
Our job is not to be the ones that comfort. So how you should approach it is like when he's crying like that, say, "Hey, stop crying. Listen to me. It's a game. This is something new to you. You're gonna have to learn how to use the system. It's gonna be frustrating. I get it, but are you gonna give up on it? Are you willing to keep giving up? Or are you gonna keep practicing at it till you get there?"
Well, he wants to quit. He wants to quit right away. You know why? Because he wants to sit on the damn Xbox and play Minecraft all freaking day.
That's the problem. These days, Minecraft is a big thing. Every kid's hooked on Minecraft, Roblox, and Fortnite.
Ah, damn. So it's like, okay, I get it. Minecraft, cool. I get it. You build shit, you know? We build shit,
Yeah, we Minecraft in real life.
which I'm okay with. The problem is, I'm not okay with it when it's being done so much out of the day. When he could be doing other things.
No, you limit them.
Correct. Well,
Moderation is key. Kind of like when we drink and all that. Moderation is key. We don't sit there and get wasted every night.
shit, I know your ass ain't
No,
even.
I have learned a lot about moderation. Like in the army, this little bit wasn't going to do anything for me. I was going through bottles, and I was going through bottles quick and heavy. I got my stomach pumped once, maybe
Oh
twice. I
shit.
don't remember, but most of the time I remember everything that happened. I could be blackout drunk, and I'll remember everything that happens the next day.
So you still
But
kind
again,
of,
moderation now is key because I'm getting older.
yeah.
My kidneys aren't going to work the same way that they used to when I was 20. So moderation with time and gaming is what we need to teach him. One, homework needs to be completed on time. That comes first. Then chores need to get completed. He should start learning how to do chores, especially at this age, because once they get older and then you start trying to get them to do it, they're going to complain. They're not going to want to do it. But if you start off younger, they'll be more inclined to. But do it, make it an activity where you and him do it right away. And eventually it'll get put on his plate.
Which is correct. You know, he doesn't. I that's why I build so much things for them. He's got different options. The problem is I think he's at that point where he's just kind of stuck on one thing and only wants to pay attention to that one thing. We give him chores, we give him everything else, picks up his toys, everything. You know, he does his respected things that we expect. The problem is when he's so fixated on one certain thing, if he asks me and I say no, he's gonna go straight to his mom.
Of
What
course.
kind of bullshit is that?
Well, that's where you two need to stand as a united front. Again, if mom says yes and dad said no, he's going to play that. But if you guys stand together and parent together and you both understand, like, what did dad say? He told me no. Well, there's your answer. Or if he lies and you text her and say, "Hey, did you say you could do this?" And she says no, you're like, "Well, he lied to me about this."
That is true though, because she does, and that's what I'm saying. She does stand a united front, so she'll say, "What did Dad say?"
Mhm.
Which I respect fully, because nowadays a lot of people will do what?
Oh,
If
give in for sure.
give in 100%.
And then
I'm
say,
not.
"Oh, dad, don't worry about dad. I'll take care of it."
But a lot of times they sit there and they're like, "What? Like I just don't want to deal with it, so I'm going to give you exactly what you want."
Yeah. That's how most of the world's been now. If it's not instant gratification, it's they're not going to do it. Or they'll try to find a different way to get that instant gratification. Most parents get tired of their kids being around and don't want to be pestered by them, so they push them off on the TV, on the games. That's what it is now. Like, now go away. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to deal with you.
Dude, and I saw something that pissed me off, but I saw something on Facebook. Something I was scrolling and I see on Facebook that this guy ends up going to jail because he ends up throwing his seventh month baby into the crib so hard that his spine broke
Ugh.
all through the body. Dude, I was sitting there and I was telling my lady, I was like, dude, like, no offense. If I saw that guy on the street, shit, I'd be in prison. I just can't understand how a parent, how are you going to become a parent if you're going to do that to your own kid?
I'm gonna tell you this. So when I was in the army, I was young. We had my oldest young. I was probably like 20. He would scream and cry and scream and cry, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I would go put it like I would get angry to the point where I wanted to do something, and I would stop myself and I'd walk away, and I would put him. I'd go lay him in the crib. But I understand where the guy's coming from because for me, I didn't know what I was doing. It was one of those things. It's new. I don't know how to deal with a kid. There's no book on it. Like, did he fuck up? Yes. Do I think he deserves prison? Yes. Do I think death is on the table? No, because there is a point where everybody gets to where the stress does become too much. Lack of sleep, constantly stressed about work. Now you have a kid that you have to stress about feeding. Now you have to deal with her crying. There's no book to tell me, is he hungry? Is it a diaper change? Do I need to hold him? If I'm holding him, why isn't he stop crying? Like,
Wait,
this was a
but
lot.
are we saying that
He's
is
not right.
justified for his stuff?
It's not justified, but I can say I understand where he came from. Like how the fact that he threw his kid was anger. It was all anger based. And if you don't learn how to control your anger, you're gonna do things like that.
Correct. But you can even say, even for our kids, even for my daughter, oh man, she was a pain in the ass. Especially being a new father, you know what I mean? Oh, there was sleepless nights. I was stressed. I had to sit there and rock her for
Mm-hmm.
hours because sometimes she wouldn't sleep. Sometimes I would get so freaking frustrated to the point where it's like I got to go take a walk really quick, go to the kitchen, warm up a bottle, whatever I got to do, come back to the situation because I already knew the sleep.
Deprivation.
Correct. That's where it comes to play. I'm not sitting there saying that it's justified. 100% no. What he did was wrong. Do I understand the certain point where we can sit there and say, hey, we get to a certain limit where we feel overly stressed or overwhelmed with the situation? 100%
But we learned how
to
to
adjust.
separate
And
ourselves from the situation, take a breath, and go. Who's to say he didn't learn that? Who's to say his parents were like we know my donor. I've told you about him.
yeah,
He's a terrible person. I got beat for no reason. Electrical cables, 2x4, stuff like that. So like me not knowing how to deal with this was kind of coming from him because he never knew how to deal with kids. So what I learned was violence. But to separate myself from that, I had to take a minute and walk away. This wasn't. This was over. It wasn't like instant where I figured out what I needed to do. This was over time, and I'm still working on my anger. Like I said, I understand where he came from. It's not right, and I do think he deserves punishment. And it's fucked up that that happened to the kid. But I do understand where he was at.
yeah.
Like, unless he really hated his kid and didn't want him around and stuff like that, and it
I just
was.
think he was to a breaking point, into the breaking point where he didn't know how to control it.
But would I beat his ass on the outs when I saw him?
100%.
Probably, yeah,
Probably.
for sure.
I grab this mic and fucking beat the shit out of him.
It was one of those things. You can't. It's justified to beat his ass.
Yeah,
Do
100%.
I think he should die? No, because again, it's going to be more torturous to have to live with that
Correct.
and be in prison,
Why am I going to give you the easy way out? I'd rather you suffer.
which is what I'm okay with.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, you already know what the other thing happened, and he's still alive somehow.
Yeah.
Mind you, I hope it's very miserable.
I mean, shit, I don't even blame your donor. I thought you were taking this other guy's side. I'm about to get this mic and beat the shit
No,
out
no,
of you too.
my donor's different. No, I wasn't gonna do
I
that.
get it. I
Like, I
know.
don't take anybody's side on that, but I can understand it.
I
Is what
get
I'm
it.
saying.
Respect.
Like, would I do that to my kids? No. But was there a time where a thought came to my head? Yes, and that thought always, when I felt it, it scared me, and I walked away. Because again, I didn't want to be the same as him. So it was just easier for me to lay him in the crib, walk away, and let him cry. And then I'd go in like every 30 minutes to an hour. If he stopped crying, I was in there to check on him. He was asleep. I'm like, okay, he cried himself to sleep.
Well, they sit there and they say from the day they're born to about 12 months is when you got to worry. Dude, let me tell you a story.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, She was about 7 months.
Mhm.
Okay, and I was always worried about the whole. Um, I was always worried about the whole the dying in the crib,
Yeah, yeah.
suffocating, everything else.
Yes.
I went to bed, and mind you, my bed's right close to her crib. I woke up one night and I sat there and I'm like, man, she hasn't cried, she hasn't anything. I literally touched her body and tried to wake her up, and she did not want to wake up. So I literally had to shake her so hard, my heart dropped to my freaking throat because I thought I lost actually something meaningful in my life for the first time. And it was the worst feeling that I could ever feel. That stuff still haunts me to this day.
Hmm.
Is it wrong for a dad to be protective?
No, absolutely not. Dads are supposed to be the protectors. They're supposed to be overprotective. They're supposed to be the ones that they go to when something happens.
Is there a such thing as being overprotective?
When they get older, yes.
Okay.
But like some guy comes over and starts like trying to talk to my kid. What's my reaction? I'm gonna go kick his fucking teeth in.
Either that or pull the gun out, you know what I mean?
Either one. Like there is like I guess if you're going overprotection that way, that is kind of overprotective, and you're going to jail probably. Because again, you brandished a firearm, you pointed at somebody, and you didn't use it. Which means at that point in time, I guess it wasn't needed. Is what
Yeah.
the law's gonna think.
And we don't condone just pulling guns out on people. Let's just get that out of the, you know what I mean?
No, no, no. I condone it if they're terrorists. I condone it if they're enemies to the United States or if they're breaking into my house. I do condone that,
Correct. And
but I
that's
do not condone just doing it out of nowhere.
for a boyfriend.
No, I do condone cleaning your weapons as they walk in,
As they walk in, there
but you're
we
cleaning them. You're
go.
cleaning them. You're just
That's all we're doing.
you're gonna talk about hunting and your favorite spot and how it's secluded.
Might sit there and count my bullets, but don't mind that. You
No,
know what
no,
I
no.
mean? Well,
But like they're when they get older and you start going in that route, like she's gonna start having boyfriends. You're gonna have to lax on the overprotection at that point because she will feel like you're being overprotective. Mind you, you're being a caring father as you should be, but you need to be able to trust her and the fact that you've taught her enough to be okay with it.
see, and that's the thing. Right now, I don't have to worry about it too much. Of
Yeah.
course, in the future, I will, because my daughter's only 17 months old.
Mhm.
Well, what about Martine? His oldest daughter is how old? How old? See?
Old enough to not do that.
He already got all shaky just off of that.
You scared me, man.
Alright, how old is she?
She's 12.
12.
She's the same age as my
Do you
youngest.
think middle school is the same way as back in the day when we were in middle school?
No.
What do you think changed? Technology, for one.
Technology is a big thing. They do everything on the computer. My kids have gotten in trouble for looking at porn already, and stuff like that. That's why my oldest lost his phone. He kept doing things and was messaging people, and I took it.
I think what changes most constant communication with friends and also like people from like out networks and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, they're not learning from their parents anymore, just their
It's like
parents. They're learning
when
from
we were in middle,
peers.
I mean, when I was in middle school, I remember most of the time I would be out.
Well, nowadays it changed. Us going out now, everybody's the kids aren't getting information from the parents like you were saying. They're getting all this information from the friends.
It's their friends, it's online, it's strangers on their video games. Like if you look at Roblox, they were going through and found I can't say the word because we're not allowed to say the word.
Can you spell it?
No, but I can tell you they're over they're shitty adults. Let's go with that. That's a better
That's
word
a
for
better
me.
word.
That's a
There you
shitty.
go.
They're shittier adults, and they're getting the information from them. They're getting photos from people. They're able to go on sites that we don't want them to. My son figured out how to use a proxy server, which is basically you download it on your. You don't even have to download it on your phone. There's a browser you go to now that's a proxy server that you can log into and look at all the stuff, and it'll let you past all the pop up blockers and everything. Because I had everything on this phone, and he did that.
No
And I
shit.
found it. I'm like, you do realize I'm smarter than you, right? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I do know that you use a proxy server. He's like, huh? I'm like, yeah, I'm not dumb. It's surprising. I know, Dad. I had technology when I was younger too. It wasn't as good as yours, but I'm a lot smarter than you.
Dude, it's like that AI shit.
Oh yeah,
Let me just bring that in, okay?
yeah.
Hold on.
We'll bring that in.
Hold on.
I'm waiting.
AI.
Yes.
I'm telling you for one, man, if I had AI in high school, you know how much fucking power we would have? You know AI can be used as a weapon, non-lethal of course,
For now.
Cyberbullying.
but cyberbullying to the max. I wonder about our kids one day. You know how easy it is for somebody to snap a picture and all of a sudden you're sitting over there in freaking P. Diddy's corner without even knowing P. Diddy.
Oh, there's a ton of things because they could also snap a picture and just put you on somebody else's body and just send out photos like that.
You know
Like
how
I,
much cyberbullying that could cause though?
yeah, but here's the thing: everybody cares about cyberbullying, and like I understand it, but in my head, it's still a computer. Like, hey, you want to know how I get over it? Click. I don't have to see that shit. Everybody at school's gonna know. That's their problem. I don't care.
Yeah, but we're talking about that right now as we're adults. You imagine back in the day though?
I mean, as kids, like I dealt with bullies the same way I used to. I got into a lot of fights. There was a lot of scraps.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And like in my head, I'm like, if we can do the same thing, like go back to the old days and it was just scraps that fixed everything. Because 10 to 1 says after the scrap, you friends, you boys, right?
we hash it out. Hey, it is what it is. We're good.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's not like that. You know, you have a lot of people. It's amazing. You have 12, 11-year olds sitting there texting all these other people that when did you get a phone when you were a kid?
That was adult.
Fuck,
Like we had the house phone, but we never used it. We just rode our bikes or walked to the friend's house, see if they could ask the parents, "Hey, can somebody come out and play?" And they're like, "Nah, he was in trouble today." And they're like, "Shit, I walked all that way. Fuck it, I'm gonna go this way. I'll check this friend."
well that
Nope. All right, I'm gonna go start fires in dumpster.
well that's what it was back in the day. I remember my parents used to have this freaking box looking phone with a fax machine to it.
Oh, you have
Oh
one of those?
man,
Man, you rich.
when I would
You
give
sure
the
you ain't
girls
white?
the number and they called the house,
That's rich.
I felt like I was badass. You know, like hey, what's up, shawty? You know what I mean? Like I felt like oh okay, you know, talking to them and everything else. As soon as parents walk in, click
You know what I remember?
because I was always told never to give the
I
number out.
remember if I caught somebody before a certain time, I get my ass whooped. I remember that. I think it was like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, because you wasted money.
Yeah.
So you
They
call
were
people
charging
early
for
now.
that shit.
Yeah.
You thought it was free. You know what I mean?
Kids didn't know any kids nowadays don't know any better because how many times have you heard online that somebody used their mom's credit card to buy Robux or like V-Bucks and like some of them were spending like thousands of dollars.
You hear that all the time.
Exactly. Kids don't understand money. And like until they actually work and earn it for themselves, they're not going to understand that. And we were the same way. We didn't understand that, hey, this phone call is going to cost a lot at first
That's true.
until they actually came out with like phone lines and that didn't need to have fax machines or anything.
Dude, I tell you, that phone that they had, do you know how hard it was to find the number on that phone so I can give it to people to call the house? Do you know how hard it was to find the phone number on that thing?
No, I wasn't rich enough to have one of those.
You couldn't. You had to go through
You whiter
all
than I
these-
am.
You had to go through all these different settings. Address book, phone, this phone. Oh man. I literally took about a day to figure it out. Eventually I did. And I sit there and I'd be telling everybody, hey, make sure you guys call within these hours.
My parents gonna kill me otherwise.
It was almost like I was running my own business. Call me within these business hours.
Yeah, this is the time that I'm available.
Dude, I remember that shit. And I was just like, damn. Nowadays, the kids, everybody walking around with cell phones and everything else, Snapchatting, like you name it. They're even on TikTok.
When you see people walking around, it's not just kids. People in general, when they're walking around, they're looking at their phone. They're walking around. They're not looking at anything else. It's always their phone. Like you rarely see somebody not on their phone nowadays. So it's not just kids. Adults do it too. My phone gets put away normally. Like I don't even know where it's at right now to tell you the truth. It could be in my pocket. It's in my pocket. But most of
You are pocket what?
my name's Pocket. That's what happens. You just like me for my rocket though.
Well, hold on,
Homo.
hold on. Why you
Homo.
gotta start some shit like that?
I'm gonna say so much shit to make everybody think you on that side.
Fucking A, man.
You definitely on that side. You rich
Stay
when
on
you were
your side.
younger.
Stay on your
Like
side.
like you rich when you were younger, because there ain't nobody had a fax machine with a phone connected to it other than you.
Nah, everybody had that, man.
No, well maybe rich white people. I lived in
Hold
areas
on, Mark,
where
you can't sit there and say it. You know it.
Nope.
he knows that you
Are
had
you
one.
talking about the
Apparently.
wall phone, the one with the, you know what I mean?
The wall phone's different. You had a whole fax machine with a phone built in before anybody had a phone.
I know when I used to ride by your
I didn't
house,
even know it was a fax machine, to be honest.
Look at
Instead it started going beep, 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 beep.
Anyway,
Ah, oh, somebody didn't show up to school today. Son of a
they
bitch.
got me.
That's probably what they had it for.
Probably.
Being that my father was law enforcement, it wouldn't surprise me that, hey, if they don't show up, send a fax.
Shit, we had the rotary phone for the longest time that you still had to go like that and wait.
A lot of people don't know how to make phone calls out of that.
Well, you could do it this way, and if this part was broken, if you tap this a certain amount of times for the first number, then do it for the next number, there was ways around it. Like I learned how to use that phone very well. I can still use it to this day if I had one.
Damn.
But like we had that phone for like a good minute, but we weren't allowed to touch it. Like that phone was off limits to us until like we got a phone with two lines, and then the calls weren't as charged as high at that point because they were expensive to make calls. Remember, you even said it. There certain times it was expensive.
What was the times? You remember, Martin?
Huh?
I think it was up until like it wasn't 9 at night.
So
And then
everything after 9, additional charges and everything.
Yep.
Damn, we probably ran that
Before
bill up
9
and I didn't
o'clock.
even know.
Before 9 o'clock.
Like our first computer, it was.
See, you're rich. You had a fucking computer. I didn't even have a computer.
It wasn't my computer. It was my mom's, and I learned how to use it better than she did, just because I was looking at things that I shouldn't have.
Porn.
Yes,
Hey,
this corn, by the way.
corn.
I used to go to the
Corn.
local library for that shit.
No, she couldn't figure out, and I learned how to like. You get like, remember when you? I don't know if you remember, but you had to get like a bunch of these discs, these AOL discs, to get free internet when I was starting, because it was all dial up. And you drop the disc in the CD-ROM and then click on it and it'd open up and it'd be like, "Error," and then it'd make a sound and say, "Welcome to AOL."
I remember
And then
that
like
library.
you sitting there like typing it up and you thought it was so quick, but it took like 5 minutes to download a photo. You're like, come on, come on, come on. My parents gonna show up. No, don't do this to me. And the way you fixed that was unplug it. You're like, nope.
You ain't going through, bitch.
Like, she gonna catch me. Mm-mm.
I remember when LimeWire came out.
Oh yeah.
LimeWire, that was the one.
LimeWire almost got me in trouble because like we were on it for a good minute and I was doing all kinds of things, downloading all kinds of things.
Wait, LimeWire was strictly about music, though, right?
No.
No.
I thought LimeWire was music.
LimeWire was music, but it was also a torrent system.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I guess I never made it to that channel.
that's because you slow. Like you were rich, but you slow.
Stupid. You stupid guy.
Hey, you know what? Some of us, it is what it is. Okay? I did it mainly for music. I didn't even know about that other shit. So,
Oh, I was downloading all kinds of things, movies. Like I was getting bootleg movies that way.
see, that would make sense on how people were doing those
Mhm.
back
You know
in the day.
something? I downloaded P90X and I was selling that shit.
I still have it.
You still have the original P90X?
That I downloaded off the torrent, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember the
Was-
barber shop
that
in,
was-
in Fresno. Do you remember, Martin, the barber shop right there near the sweetbread Mexican sweetbread place?
Oh yeah, that's a long time ago.
So homeboy would sit there, and this guy would always go there with bootlegged movies. Oh man, my parents would go over there and they would buy these bootlegged, videos, and I got so excited because there was some movies on there, and as soon as you fucking put the disc in, it was fucking popping up something else.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
I was never pissed because I would ask him about the certain movies. And being a kid, I was smart enough to ask for certain things. I'd be like, "Is this one of them movies? The other movies?" They're like, "No, this is this book." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that looks right." She'll never know as long as she never puts it in the DVD player.
Well, I mean, shit, they put it on a flat disc, a blank disc, and they
Yeah.
just wrote it with a Sharpie.
Yeah, Titanic. Yeah, oh, cool. Can you put this name on it instead?
Ah, damn.
No, we got. I was a so we go to so in Vegas there was a swap meet. And like I would go there and it was outside and it was massive. And we would go bounce around to different stalls, but we would always stop at this one stall because there was one guy selling DVDs, but they were bootleg knockoff corns. And then he'd write the names of actual movies on it, sell them, and say nothing to people. And then when they open it, they're like, "Oh, I think I got the wrong video."
That's the bummer part. Getting all excited, you got your fucking popcorn, everything ready to go, and all of a sudden it's something else.
Listen, if it was something else that was good, I was always excited. It didn't matter. My movies that I bought stayed with me. I never had to give them to my mom. My mom never actually went through them and watched them. Neither did my brothers.
Let me tell you this. What is probably the most embarrassing thing as a kid that your parents found in your room?
My wife's underwear. But again, the most embarrassing thing for her, and I told you this, she walked in on me and my wife in the back of the truck that I have now, the '69 Chevy Custom 10. But I was getting a little bit. And then she also, at my old house, walked up the stairs and the door was wide open because it was required that the door had to be open. And she made it halfway up and then turned around really quick. That's the most embarrassing thing for her because I was not embarrassed. Because she didn't come up, start yelling. She freaked out and turned around and walked away. And then she told me this like I want to say it was like 6 months later after like basic training. And I'm like, "What's up?" And she's like, "By the way, I walked in on this, so I'm glad that you married her." I'm like, "Huh. I should tell you there was a couple other times, but you weren't home, and yeah, I was smart."
Holy shit.
I was honest after a while. Like I'd tell my mom things. Like my first scare, like I thought I was having a kid when I was a junior.
Okay.
And like I was scared. And I was not afraid to tell my mom. I was afraid to tell my grandma. My abuela, she told me that if I get a girl pregnant, and this is when I was like younger, like we were standing in the kitchen, I was learning how to cook things, and we were talking about girls because I met this girl and I thought she was cute, and she's like she was cutting something, and she stops. She looks at me, she goes like this: "If you ever get a girl pregnant," and she goes, "that's coming off," and she had a knife in her hand and went like that. I'm like, "Oh, yes, grandma."
God damn, they know how to scare the shit out
Oh
of
yeah,
you.
I was terrified when that I found out, and I'm like, "Oh, I can't."
I think we were more scared of our grandparents than our own parents.
Well, my grandma mainly raised us. Like my mom, she was there. She was a parent, but she also had to work. She was a single mom working at Silverton Casino. At the time, it was Boomtown, and then it changed into Silverton. But she was always working from 4 to midnight. So I go to school, get off, see her for about an hour, and then she'd have to go to work. And then I was with my grandma. My grandma's the one who fed me, who like comforted me, talked to me, all that stuff.
So like your second mother.
Yes, that's why I said I lived off of her beans and rice because I was eating there constantly. Mind you, I learned to hate spaghetti because my aunt wanted it 3 times a week, so I don't eat spaghetti because of that.
Oh damn.
But like, I still eat beans and rice even though I ate it daily.
Beans and rice is not even a bad thing, man.
No, it's you lived, so.
That's
She,
got that going for you.
she make tortillas, homemade tortillas, beans, rice. You're good.
Oh damn!
Sometimes you get protein if you got a big win that day.
I think grandparents are a big part in people's lives. My
Not
grandmother,
anymore.
for one, she is like my second mother. I spent every weekend with her. And mind you, my grandmother didn't have a lot, but she did what she could. And when she would take me to the Dollar Tree to spend a couple dollars to go buy whatever I want, it felt like the world. Sit there at grandma's,
It
have
wasn't the Dollar Tree. It was the 99-cent store
99-cent store.
because it was 99 cents and under.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Before they converted,
Hmm.
but yes, it was a 99-cent store.
No, they shut down.
Did they fully shut down?
99-cent store went out. That Dollar Tree stayed because they just started charging like $1.25, so it's now the $1.25 tree. But they also have products there for like $5 now. But 99-cent store for the longest time they only sold stuff no higher than 99 cents, and then some stuff happened. Things got extremely pricey. They shut down all of them.
Do you remember when they used to have all the little bite-sized candies?
Oh yeah.
Before they used to be in 12 packs.
Mhm.
Now they're in 6 packs.
Now, yeah. But like when I remember when they sold like the singles. Like you go there and like instead of buying the whole pack, like if you didn't have a full dollar but you had a quarter, you would buy 2 of the little candies from the 99-cent store.
No, but we're only a couple years off. They sell the 12 packs. Maybe they did have candy bars. I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
You know what I like going to? Asian 99-cent stores.
That sounds like a corn
Bro,
store.
That's definitely a corn store.
That's a
Yeah,
corn
the back
store.
room, you got a lot going on there.
When did you go to that store?
Bro, they have so much shit in there.
Well, I bet.
They have a lot of shit in there. Not like the regular one.
Some of them were like that big.
About yay tall.
Yay tall.
Ooh, little, you can blush it over there. You sick mug. I already knew it.
He's like, I'm tired.
Let me tell you this. If you had to pick one embarrassing story within the past 10 years that you would want nobody to know.
I've already told this story. And I've told it to where everybody can find it. But I'm not going to tell them where to find it. But I'd say when we hit 100 subscribers, I will tell this story.
Oh?
And this is a good story. This was a story that, let's just say I made my own Jackson Pollock painting.
Oh, shit.
Yep, that was involved.
Well, let me tell you this. I'm going to tell you a story because this is not the most embarrassing, but this is on one of my top 10s. I wouldn't say probably one of my top 5s. Okay. My son was sitting there, okay. Mind you, he was sitting there showering in his
Wait,
tub.
embarrassing for you or for him or
just
all around?
Hold on, all around. Like, this is some shit that, like, hey.
Because this one's actually 15 years old now that I think about it.
This is fucking bad.
Okay.
We're talking about my son sitting there in the tub, right?
I think I know.
Showering. He wasn't showering regular. He was, in the water, doing his regular bath, has his toys. He would sit there and put his toys on the edge, each one, okay? When it was time to pull them out, we'd pull them out, okay, everything else. I went to go shower right after, okay? I'm getting ready, I'm fucking drop naked, everything. I'm like, okay, turn the water on, okay? I'm sitting there trying to pull all his toys off of the ledge so I can shower in peace.
And you slipped and one of the
Tell
army
me
men went
why
in.
there was all kinds of fucking soap sitting over the ledge and everything else. I literally reached for a toy, slipped in the tub, ass up. I was so pissed off. I was like, if this is the day I fucking die, because
They find me like this.
Like, no offense, put my boxers on and fucking sweats on. Don't let me go out like this.
I'd be your boy. I wouldn't do that though. I'd probably put a toy in your hand and put it back here so I can make it worse on you.
Imagine the forensics picture.
That's what I'm saying. It was the most embarrassing thing. I'm like, dude, like I saw my life flash between my eyes, and I'm sitting there like, if I fucking die right now, butt ass naked, bleeding over the tub with fucking toys, I can only imagine.
How many bad jokes I was gonna tell about you?
Oh man. I was like, dude, if I didn't die and I was paralyzed, fucking kill me now. I am not going out like that.
Fair. I mean, I wouldn't want to die from that. I
But
wouldn't want to be paralyzed from that. But I mean, if I could still like roll my happy ass to go do things, I guess I'm okay with that.
but the one thing is I told her this story, she couldn't stop fucking laughing because she pictured it in her mind.
I think everybody just pictured it in this room.
And it's so bad, like ass cheeks, right there. Hands in the tub.
Just holding on the edge. Oh God, dear Lord.
I didn't know whether to stay there or if I could get up. Like,
Should I move?
You know what I mean?
Probably should have gotten up quickly. I'd be like, nope, not dying this way.
I just did not want to slip a different way and hit something, and then
You
I'm
just
like, all
roll.
of a sudden I'm fucking, you know what I mean? That was probably one of the most things I was like, you know what? But it made me think. I'm like, God damn, why didn't I just, check to see if there was? Why did I take my clothes off before fucking taking the toys out?
You should have just pulled the toys off before you got in the
I
tub.
was just ready to shower. You know what I mean?
Not after that. Now you check
Hell
all
no.
the toys out before that, don't you?
I said at that point I knew what Diddy felt like. You know what I mean?
Diddy didn't feel that way.
Oh, he felt some type of way.
He's feeling that way now.
He was the faucet, bro.
Oh.
I think that's what Dad you probably slid into the faucet, dude.
I probably slipped in his fucking domain. I don't fucking know, dude.
That definitely happened.
I was sitting there scared to my fucking life. I was sitting there, and the funny part is, I was sitting there, ass cheeks up, hands in the tub. Tell me why I lift my head to look back to see if anybody was looking.
Like, please don't let anybody be there. Fucking, you just see Diddy there, like, yeah.
Dude, that was the most like, oh, that story. It's not like an embarrassment to me. It was more of a funny moment. Like, god damn.
It's funny, but it's embarrassing when you think about what could have happened and being
Correct.
found. Yes.
I was sitting there.
I
like,
give you that.
oh man.
I would have panicked so much on the inside. Like, please don't die. Please don't die. Not like this. Not like
you
this.
imagine,
No.
You imagine them calling my parents, hey, I needed you to identify a body.
And
all
just
they
they
see is
walk
my
in, ass up.
cheeks.
Yeah, that's him. I remember those from when he was a kid. He did the same thing back then.
Can we have a copy of the picture? Can we have a copy of the picture?
Do you have a picture of his ass?
We're gonna put it up for the memorial.
Don't worry. We'll call Epstein. It's fine.
Dude, that shit, I'm telling you, that shit was probably one of the most embarrassing things.
So the most recent embarrassing thing for me, it's not that bad.
That's bad.
I mean, mine's bad, but it's not that bad. It's bad when you have to get a call at work at 1:30 in the morning from the police, which you think like, because where you work, you're like, all right, they're probably calling to tell me about some resident. No. I get a call about my son sneaking out. He's shit-faced and in the back of a police cruiser. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I said this to the officer. He's
Was
like,
he driving?
who? My son? He can't drive. Thank
Oh.
God he didn't steal my truck. God. The old 69, I was able to hotwire that with a piece of a rubber ball, piece of
Screwdriver?
metal, and electrical tape.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I learned how to hotwire things differently. Everybody's like, screwdriver, pop this off. I'm like, no, I hotwired it in a way I could connect everything back together and never get caught until I didn't get caught for that truck being hotwired that way and me connecting everything until like I put a switch box in after all that where I had a constant and a toggle switch to,
Flip it on
start
and
it. And I'm like, all right, cool. My dad went down to the gas station over here by Rayleigh's, pulled in. The switch apparently was loose and bumped because I Velcroed it. But over time, when he was driving, it popped up. He hit the constant switch and could not start the truck. And he was panicking. And he called me. And he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, hey, do me a favor and don't get mad. If you get mad, I'm going to hang up and you're going to have to suffer. He's like, what did you? I'm like, don't you do it or you're gonna sit there. It's like, fine, I promise. I'm like, all right, go over to the passenger seat, scoot over. And he's like, okay. Like, open the glove box. Yeah. I'm like, you see that empty space to your left? Yeah. Reach back there. And he reaches back there. And he's like, I'm like, do you feel a square box? He's like, yes. I'm like, pull that out. And he pulls it out. He's like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, flip that white switch to the left. He flips it off. I'm like, go ahead and try to start it now. And it worked. He's like, we're going to talk when you get back. And when I got back, we never had the talk. And this was on my first block leave. He gave me the key to the truck and said, take the switch box out. I'm like, he's like, I made a spare key. I have the spare key. You have the original. Here you go. So, yeah, that's the story behind my truck. And I hotwired it to go see my wife perform choir or whatever. Because, again, I was a male and I was after some. Because who isn't after some at that age, you know?
Martin.
What are you talking about? Wasn't he with your sister at that time?
No.
No, 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 no.
Way before even that.
Way before that? Okay.
We can edit that out, right?
Yeah, nah, it'll be fine. He's very slow. Look at that. This just sounds funny at this point. He is struggling. You could literally just mess with him at this point. Oh no, it's falling on me. God, this sounds like the... That's terrible.
God damn, you have to slam that shit?
He's tired. You're going to hear it on mine, but it's okay. They'll get over it. Who's going to see this part anyways?
So that's crazy. So all those experiences and everything, I'm just like, man.
Well, we had a lot of those experiences, and now you have to think about how their experiences are going to be now. Because kids don't go out as much. They don't. They do when they get older, but even then, when they go out, they're not out. They're on their phones. Half the time, they don't even talk to each other. They're texting each other while you're sitting next to them.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things you're like, how do you build any sort of relationship from that now?
Well, that's the problem. Even with the youngest kids, they always wanted to be on their tablets, always want this. Hey, if we're having dinner on the dinner table, can I watch my tablet?
No.
No, you're having dinner with family. That's what I think the technology is a lot that affects most of that.
Well, yeah, because technology at the beginning was created for us to be able to learn from and to use to make our lives easier. What we've now made it into is something that we just sit there and brain rot over, like staring at YouTube constantly. Like YouTube, when I first started using it, I used it to learn things. Now sometimes I just watch a video to pass time. And then I got tired of that. So I started going and doing projects, and I still put YouTube on, but it's in the background. I don't even pay attention to it half the time. But I do still learn things off of it. I use it for the purpose that it was invented for, to be able to teach others how to do things. Like when I was going to I was replacing the head gasket on that Kia.
Okay.
And like I went in and I looked for it. They haven't had a Kia my year on there. It's all newer years and all older years, which surprisingly some of them do match up, but even then, finding specific things because people don't do it at home anymore
Yeah.
is hard to find. So a lot of it was trial and error at this point. Like I'm like, all right, well I know where the head gaskets should be.
Yeah, because most of the time everybody sits there and they take it to the shops and they want the easy way out.
And
But a lot of people, they don't know how to sit there. For one, nobody knows how to change a tire nowadays.
nobody knows that. Nobody knows how to. Well, with newer vehicles, nobody knows how to change their oil half the time anymore because some of them require a special tool. Like in some of the trucks, they've created it to where you have to use a special tool to take this part of the drain out to suck out the oil. Then you have to put the oil back in the same way. And in my head, I'm like, that's a bad idea. The oil pan was a great idea because you just loosen the bolt, drain out everything. You could even pull the pan off to clean out the pan at some point in time because guess what? The engine breaks down and metal particulates get built up in that compartment, and sometimes it becomes a slurry.
Correct.
You need to clean it out. They don't do that anymore.
No, and especially like, love my wife, love her, but it's so disappointing when they don't know what the gauges, or not even the gauges, but the certain codes or certain stuff pops up on their dash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. I get what you're saying. Like the code thing doesn't matter to me because they don't use. I know they don't use the little computer. The computer is what gives off the code. But the lights, I do understand that
Correct.
because when an oil light pops on and they don't say anything,
That's the issue.
and then they run the car, and you're just like, "Hey, the oil light popped on." Then that tells you, "Hey, get an oil change, or you're low on oil."
Or low tire pressure,
Lo-
or you know what I mean? I'm surprised they even know what the low fuel one is.
Yeah, but most people don't know
A
this.
lot of
The fuel light, there's a sticker next to it sometimes, or like an arrow that points to which side your gas tank is on. So when you're driving a new vehicle, if you look at it and you have the little gas gauge there, normally there's like an arrow pointing to the left or to the right, and that's the side the gas tank is on. That's in the older vehicles. I don't know about the newer ones,
I don't know about the newer ones.
but that was a sign back then because it was easier. When you bought a new car, you'd look down, you'd be like, "Oh, it's on the left side or the right side." Or when you were renting vehicles, different vehicles, you're like, "Oh, it's on the right side. I need to pull in this way."
Yeah, I've never even known that. I didn't even know.
Most people don't.
'Cause I usually just check the vehicle and I know where it's at. You know what I mean? Usually don't check that. I've never even seen that.
Yeah,
I'm really curious now.
I don't know if your vehicle has it, but my truck does.
The
My
69?
95
Oh,
and my
okay.
69. Because it was just the easier way. On the 69, it's actually not that hard though. You just look over your left shoulder and it's right there.
Huh.
Because the fuel tank is behind the seat in the 69, which is a little freaky.
That's a little freaky
Because,
you imagine something punctures that and all of a sudden
but
you got a short wire.
in my head, it's protected by the bed, and it's protected by the front of the cab. So in my head, I'm like, okay, there's plenty of room. If something hits me hard enough that gets punctured, I'm more than likely
To survive.
done.
Done or
Done.
survive?
Survive. But like
Okay.
instead of saying the K word,
Yeah.
I say done
Okay.
because another word YouTube doesn't like.
Nope. You imagine all the stuff they have to censor out of this thing.
Oh, there's a ton of stuff. Like I said, we can't say that one word for those stupid people,
Corn.
those assholes, and we
Oh,
can't say the
those.
word for the corn. So you change the word.
Okay.
And there's certain topics that you're not allowed to talk about. And it's like, why can't I talk about this? Why do I care what some file is doing? Like I want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it in the way you want me to. I want to talk about it in a way of him getting his just desserts, but in the wrong way.
What about the freedom of speech?
It's limited. So in the private sector, there's no such thing as freedom of speech. So if you're sitting there at your job, say you're working at Walmart, your freedom of speech is limited. But if you're sitting there in like where we work for the state or the government, again, your speech is not limited. Because at that point, if they tell you can't say something, you're like, yeah, but my freedom of speech trumps this. Because again, it's somebody in the government telling you you can't say something. But privately, if I tell you, hey, if you say this again, you're fired, and it's in a private company, you can't take a lawsuit with that because, again, private company.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things like finding the sweet balance is the hard part. And on YouTube, they'll let you know by not letting you know, but just shadow banning you. And then sometimes it'll say in the computer.
Okay.
So
Well, let's stir around from this shit, okay? Let's get into some funny shit, okay?
listen, we just had funny shit. You
Well,
ass up.
Okay, right now, yeah, we're not talking about the ass up anymore, okay? That was a bad experience.
Yeah, apparently for you it was maybe
You
I don't know.
you
The
don't
toys
even
got a good show.
you don't even know, man. Butt ass nigga, you know what I mean? It's bad.
Listen, I've
Bad.
done a lot of things buck wild. Now, I'm gonna tell you mine is worse than that, but I'm not gonna tell you until after the 100 subscribers.
So make sure you guys link and subscribe. Get 100 subscribers so
Oh,
we can actually hear this story.
it's a great story.
And I know it because I actually heard it. I really want to hear it, and I want you guys to hear it. So click that subscribe. But on a serious note, okay, if you take it back, okay, take it back 5 years from now. Just say take it back before you were married. Okay, just think about it. You weren't married. You were single, living your life.
If I knew what I know now
If
back
you
then,
know what you knew now, what would you do?
part of me thinks about this sometimes, and like mainly it's the thought comes out of anger.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I stop and I actually think about it, do my kids piss me off? Yes. Do they irritate me? Yes. But they're my kids. I don't think I'd change anything. Sometimes I do wish I would. Like working up there at that casino for that long time, it was 10 years for me. 10 solid years of working there, breaking my back, crawling through ceilings with asbestos and dust and all that, and not getting the recognition, and having my brother come in and work at the same place and get paid more than me. He was getting paid 15.50 an hour. I was getting paid 14 and 15, which broke even to 14.50 an hour.
Yeah.
Which at that point in time, I was there for 5 years. I knew how to install cameras. I knew how to fix the system. I knew how to watch cameras, catch counters, catch cheaters. Like I was doing all these jobs, the same jobs you did,
Mm-hmm.
plus more, and I was getting paid less.
But that seems to be a normal trend nowadays. Just I can say when I started my job at this company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a county job, I started off at this rate. It's amazing to see how many people come in at a higher rate than what I was hired. It upsets me at a point where it's like, okay,
And we've worked to the point where we are making more, but they're starting like a dollar or two behind us.
correct. It's like we had to earn our scraps. You know what I mean? And build. And it amazes me how somebody, not specifically a pay rate, but somebody can get paid $17 an hour, and somebody comes in 2 years after and get paid $20 an hour for the same job you hired us for.
Well, I got a better one for you. I was hired for about 21 when I 21.50 when I started, which was great because the old place I was making 20.
Okay.
This was 21.50. I didn't care. 6 months later, this other guy is hired, and he's hired for 29. And in my head, I'm like, why is he hired for more, even though I got 6 months on him, plus all this other training? Like, I'm lost here. Do I not get paid for training either? Like, do they not up my pay because of that? And it was one of those things that I struggled with. And then I'm just like, I'm going to leave it alone because I'm comfortable here and I really like this job. The pay doesn't entirely bug me. Because again, I'm comfortable. I make enough money to afford to live okay and not have to worry about the next meal, not worry about how I'm going to pay the next bill, not trying to pick and choose. Am I going to buy this and give up on this? Do I have to hold off on this mortgage payment to do this? Like, I'm comfortable now. And like, I used to fear making payments on my house. I was not able to pay credit cards, and I lived off of credit cards my first 2 years out of the service. So I had 7,000 in debt and couldn't pay it. And then like I bought a house with my mother, which was a terrible idea. And like I was trying to figure all this out. My credit was terrible after that. Like I went from a 714 while in the army to when I got out, I was at a 400 and change. That was rough for me cuz again, now I had to figure things out. I did manage to buy 2 houses, one with my mom and then my own. But it took time to build that again.
And a lot of people don't understand that credit's a big thing.
Yeah.
People think it's a game, pull out a credit card, build, and charge this much. You don't understand that credit cards are built that if I give you a $10,000 limit, spend half that, pay it off.
Don't even spend half
Don't
that.
even.
You maybe want to go up to a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Passing that halfway threshold should only be in emergencies, or maybe you have a flight planned. You pay for the tickets and then pay it off gradually, but you're not paying like minimal amounts. Like you're not paying like the minimum $150 to $200. You're paying 500 at a time, and you're budgeting it out because guess what? I couldn't afford $2,500 tickets in one go, but I can do it with credit card and payments,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they're used for. But again, we go to people don't understand how credit works and they throw everything away. Did you know your credit score is based off of a couple different things?
Mm-hmm.
One, owning a house. Two, buying a vehicle and paying on it. And three, having a credit card and using it frequently, but never going over that third mark. Like if you go to half, okay. But as soon as you go over that, they start looking at it and like, he's starting to become a liability. He owes a lot. What do? They're never going to change your APR. On my credit cards now, they've increased it. I think one of my credit cards is 10,000 now.
Okay.
I have about 2,500 on it, and I'm paying that off. And then I'll get back up there, and I'll just keep doing that. But again, I do it every once in a while. Like I'll do a $2,500 purchase, and it's usually for like I don't know a stove that I really want or a fridge, something nice
For the home.
for the home because it's improving it. My Home Depot one is like 5,800, and I have about 3,200 on that. But that one's built different. That one I'm allowed to go over because again, it's to improve my home, and I pay it off the same way. I pay it off in chunks. I don't do it as like bare minimum payment. I do it more. I pay probably like when I look at it, I'm like, how can I pay this to not accrue interest? So I have 18 months interest free on this purchase. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that purchase amount. Let's say it was 2,500 by the 18 months. What payment do I need to make to get that cleared out before I get the interest?
Correct.
And that's how I pay it off.
And a lot of people just pay the bare minimum, $35 a month, but they're paying almost triple what that original price cost.
Yeah, because you're not including your interest over time. And interest over time is what's going to kill you, especially if you sit there and just stay on it and you just like bare minimum payment. You pay the bare minimum. Let's say it's $100, but at the same time, your interest is on the whole entire thing winds up being $60. Now you've only paid off $40.
Yeah.
And that's the rough part that you have to deal with. You're like, I'm paying it, but I feel like I'm making no movement on this.
Yeah. And that's the problem.
And people don't understand how to use their money. One, should you be working in debt? Yes. I don't like to say this, but yes. In order to build credit to be able to buy a house and other things, you have to work in debt.
Yeah.
And in order, once you work in debt and pay off those things, try not to accrue as much debt. Do not get like 15 credit cards with $20,000 limits. There's no way you're going to pay that back. Not easily. 90% of the time, you're going to have to sit there and file bankruptcy.
100%. And that's why it's a real stressor especially for the
The
younger population.
younger population don't understand it. At 18, you should not have a credit card. Nope. I got a credit card at 20 something, and I still feel like I shouldn't have had that credit card because it had a $7,000 limit, and that was my first credit card. I had a credit card at 7,000 limit. I didn't understand credit at that time, and I spent a lot of the money on that credit card to survive. Mind you, would I do it again? Yes, because I needed to survive when I got out of the army because I wasn't working. I was looking for a job and I needed to support my family.
Mm-hmm.
Would I help my mom at that point, knowing that that was my limit? No, probably not. I'd probably never do that again. That would be one of those things that I change.
Now let's steer a little bit left from this. Let's change the conversation a little bit. Okay.
Good.
Let's change it to marriage topic.
Ooh.
What is the most awkward conversation you have had with your wife?
Basically, what are you looking for in the bedroom? Like that one's an awkward conversation, especially like if she's not giving you any information and you're like, "Am I doing good? Am I hitting it right?" Like I get we have 2 kids. I hear the moaning and everything. Is there something that we need to do? Do we need to spice up life?
Spice it up.
Like, and then the question is, okay, how do we spice this up? Do we watch corn? Do we add toys into the mix? Do I throw a magical thumb in there somewhere? That's usually a no, by the way.
Usually a no on the thumb.
It's like no on the thumb. No. More foreplay works, but no thumb.
Shit. There could be some awkward conversations, especially with marriages. You know what I mean? Like, what if there came to a certain point? Like, what would be something you would be afraid to talk to your wife about?
Nothing. Like I don't fear talking to her. She fears talking to me. And the reason why is because I don't have limits on what I'm gonna say. And I refuse to have I refuse to be limited.
Okay.
It's our marriage. I'm gonna speak my mind and you should be able to speak your mind. But again, we've had struggles. There's been times where I've talked to her and I gave her ultimatums. And there's only few times where you can give somebody an ultimatum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually dealing with adultery. That's the only time I'll give an ultimatum. But 90% of the time, it's like awkward conversations for me is like sex. Do I want to talk about money? Not often, but again, she has access to my bank account. I don't touch her money. She can make as much as she wants. She has her own bank account. I gave her a way to feel like she has an out if she wants an out. At the same time, do I expect her to assist with the bills? Yes, because you can't do it on one paycheck anymore.
Can't.
And like she covers gas, electric, phone bills, internet. I cover house and credit cards, and the credit cards cover my dumb purchases, my purchases for her, my purchases for the house. And I like to live in a certain range on my credit that I pay the credit cards and I use them to make purchases like gas and all that so I could build the credit.
Correct.
Those are my bills. And like I gave her the electric and the heating because again, she wants the house hot. I would be okay with it being 61 in the house. I wake up, I go to bed perfectly fine in a cold house. I wake up, I'm like, shit, it's cold. Give me that blanket. Wrap myself up in my blanket and I fucking walk out. And I'm like,
61
coffee.
degrees.
I am comfortable in the cold.
Damn.
But
my lady would kill me if it was anything below 73.
listen, I'd be okay. Because again, she pays the bill. She can pay for the heat. That is her responsibility. The electric, nobody wants to listen to me when I tell them to turn off the lights. Nobody wants to listen to me when I tell them, hey, don't be on this too long. Nobody wants to listen. Fine. You all want to have small little heaters in your room. Fine. Not paying for it. Again, $400 payment I'm not willing to make. When I was paying for the heat and for electricity, it was low because guess what? When nobody was home, the heat was not on. It was set at a schedule. If it went under, when it freeze is when it would kick on. When people were home, while they were awake, it was set for 70 degrees. When we went to bed, it was set for 65. I'm okay with the cold. My opinion to you is if you're cold and I have to pay for it, wear one of the many jackets or sweaters that I bought you. Use more blankets. I use one blanket. The same blanket for all of winter. It's about that thin. And I am warm. It's probably the warmest blanket I have right now. It used to be a blanket that was that thick that I got at the swap meet. It was a California King blanket, and that thing was amazing.
Are you cold blooded or warm blooded?
Oh, I'm running hot. I'm hot right now, man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm more warm blooded. So, wife, she's anemic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she
Low
has
iron,
to have
yeah.
it warm. If she's too cold, she'll pass out. She'll go to sleep. She'll get comfortable, go to sleep. Okay. Mind you, the house could be at 73 degrees. Okay. As soon as I get in bed and everything, it's like an oven because I'm warm blooded. It's just the way my body flows. She loves it. But I'm sitting there like, okay, well, if I'm so warm blooded, why the hell do I need my temperature to be 73, 74 degrees? Because I suffer.
I don't snuggle for that reason.
Shit.
Like my wife, every once in a while wants to cuddle. I don't, because again, I am dying of a heat stroke in bed. Sometimes I sleep with a sheet, especially in the summer. I turn on the AC unit, and it's not an AC unit; it's a swamp cooler.
Ooh.
It doesn't add money to the bill really.
Mm-mm.
And like I turn that thing on high at night, it gets cold in the house, and I am happy. I sleep with a sheet because I need something to cover me every once in a while. Like it doesn't matter. Like I'm not cold. I just want something to cover me. It's
Okay.
like one of those things. Like I don't know. Maybe it's a safety thing. Maybe I don't know. Like when you thought about it when you were a kid, with the monsters going to grab your feet and all that, and tuck your feet in the bed. You're like, oh.
Yeah, you're right.
And every once in a while, you get that thought. Still, you're like, something's under the bed. It's going to grab my fucking leg as it's hanging off, and usually it's a drunk thought. I'm like,
And you know we
like,
had
oh shit, it's
those.
gonna get me.
Hell yeah.
Hang something else off the bed. You can get that.
Oh shit.
But that's the thing. I run hot. I would like the house to be cold, but again, she's paying for the heat bill. I let her do that. I do pay for certain things. My heater is old. I have to go in. I pay for the filters. I replace those. Then I have to go in and I have to go and clean off all the sensors. There's some sensors that are old enough that I have to sit there and go like this with a small little towelette to clean it. And I clean the next sensor and the next one, and then in front of the pilot, there's a thermal temperature rod that sticks in front of the flame. I have to clean those, and I'm afraid it's going to turn on and burn my fingers, but I still do it because again, she pays for the heating, and I want her to be warm and comfortable.
Right.
So I don't argue about it.
Okay.
But if I was paying for it, you damn well know I'm gonna be
I'm
setting
gonna
that thing.
plug that damn thing.
You at 61, it ain't going any higher until somebody's here, and only when you awake. You asleep, I don't care. You got blankets, use them. I use this thing.
Hell yeah. I hear it, man.
It like being married is
It's got its
it.
pros and its cons.
It has its cons and its pros, yes. But it's communication. They say
Right.
communication is key. It is. You have to be able to communicate just about anything. If you're not communicating about like your wants and needs in the relationship, somebody's going to fall flat. And it's never 50-50. 100%. It'll never be 50-50%.
And I don't think people understand that.
It's going to sway. It goes back and forth. Sometimes it'll be 70-30. Sometimes it'll be 80-20. Sometimes it will be 50-50. On the rare occasion, you're both putting in the same amount of work and you're like, hey, this is nice. But at some point, something's going to happen, and it could be 95 and 5%.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's a struggle because the times where it's 95 and 5% is because somebody's down and out.
Well, a lot of people too. They're so strict on the knowledge that they've been given from other people. For one, we have to do this as men, or we have to do this as women. I look at it too, like, when people are like, oh, the women's job is to do the clothes, make the food, do this. That's not the way it is anymore. Because I look at it like we're both living in the home. We both wear clothes. We both cook or eat. We both do the same things to clean up or do whatever we have to do equally. It's not like I come home, your job's to do the laundry, dishes, and everything else. No, I do my 50% and help out regardless of you know what I mean?
The only time I think that's fair and feasible
Mm-hmm.
is if she's a stay-at-home wife. Let's say there's no kids.
Okay.
She's a stay-at-home wife. You're paying for everything. I do believe she should be doing majority of the housework. You can help out like by like cooking, cleaning up after yourself, but like if you're doing all the work outside, she should be able to do all the work inside, and vice versa. If she was making the money and you were home all day, you should not be sitting there drinking all day. You should be actually sitting there, make sure the house is clean, make sure the food's cooked, make sure everybody's where they need to be.
Correct.
In my head, that's where it's at.
And that's understandable and it's completely true. And that goes for both points.
Especially if you're putting in effort, because at this point, on one income, the man's putting in the effort to support the family, which requires him to work hours to put the house over your head, food in your mouth, heat, electricity, internet, all that. So at that point, the house is your job, and vice versa. If she's doing all the work, you need to be doing something at home to be assisting. Again, it's not 50-50. Sometimes it's 70-30. Sometimes it's 60-40. People need to understand that, hey, I don't expect it to be the woman's job. It's only the person's job who's staying at home. If you're staying at home and not doing anything and just on your phone, in my head, you can fuck off. You're not part of this relationship and you're not even attempting to try.
And you ever factor, would you be a stay-at-home dad?
I couldn't do it.
I
I mean, I think it'd be great, but at the same time, I couldn't do it because I like to work. There's not a part of me that doesn't love to go out there and work. Why do you think I leave work so late? Do I dread going in sometimes? Yes, but it's usually due to politics. But to put the work in while I'm there, love it.
Yeah.
I love working. I've always been that way. I've pulled more hours than most people at most jobs just because I like doing it. And sometimes I don't even get paid for it.
What if your wife one day came home and she was like, "Oh, you know what? I got this big opportunity. In order for this to take place, you would have to be home."
I got grown kids. I don't,
So it makes it easy for you.
but like if my kids were younger again, it's to be like, okay, what is this opportunity? Explain it to me. And like she has to convince me that it is the opportunity of a lifetime and that we're going to be set and comfortable. And if that's not the case, I won't do it. Or I will find a way to make it happen for both of us to work. Because again, if I were to stay at home and take care of the kids and not be able to work, I don't think I'd be able to call myself a man. Because again, I like to work, I like to provide, I like to protect. These are the things that are bred into my genes. There's not a part of me that wants to go, like, I went to college. It's not a part of me that wanted to be there not doing anything. I did what I could. I'm not good at school, I'm good at working. So all my effort always went into that. Would I go back to school now? Probably not.
Probably not.
Like, if it helped me further my career, maybe. But at the same time, I struggle with English because I don't understand punctuation. I don't understand why it's important. If I can speak to you and I can write a certain way and you get it across, we're good. Mind you, you have ChatGPT and everything else now that can do punctuation for you, even
Yeah.
in the criminal law. The part where the ChatGPT has an issue is it creates its own case law.
Yep.
But again, it's one of those things like I don't think I could do it. Would I do it if I had to? Yes. If she can convince me 100% that's what it is, yes, I would do it. And at that point, the only way I would do it is if we're so comfortable that the kids can do their own thing and I can do my own thing. Like, I don't mind hanging out with the kids. I don't mind teaching them. I'd even homeschool at that point
Yeah.
because homeschooling at this point is better than most teachers.
Oh yeah, 100%. All they do is check screens and check tests and everything else.
Right now, yes. And like the only thing school is good for at this point in time is to socialize them.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, when it's on computers and everything, that's not socializing.
No.
They're not getting to do anything like that. Socializing is going out, playing in the playground and all that. Then you have time for learning. But our learning scheme is outdated. Like think about it. Back when education schools like schools were created, they were put in a classroom and taught the same thing because that was a way to teach them how to be good factory workers. Everybody doing the same thing at the same time in the same line, doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people want to be more creative. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to do this. You want to do that. Inventing is a big thing. Back in the really old days, 1776 and before that, most people were self taught. Most people, if they wanted to do something, they learned from somebody else or they taught themselves. Nowadays, you have a school teaching you math. Why do I need to know calculus? I need to know calculus is if I go into certain professions. Like if I decide to go into computer engineering, probably good to have a good solid math ground, like ground like base level.
Mm-hmm.
Calculus is one of those things. If I'm really good at math already, I'm going to do that and figure it out on my own usually. My grandfather, born in the back of a potato cart, he was given up for adoption. He didn't know how to read, write, or do math when he met my grandmother. My grandmother was a teacher, so she taught him how to read, how to write, and taught him how to do math. Once he learned the basics of math, and learned how to read, he was able to learn how to do calculus in his head. This man is smart. He passed away not too long, like in 2009, so it was a long time ago at this point, but in my head, it's not that long. Uh, but he taught himself because that's what he needed to move forward. And he's like, I know I need to learn this stuff. So he did. He didn't go to school like normal kids or any of that because he was working on the farms trying to make money. When he got married, he was working in factories trying to make money. Nowadays, people don't want to work. They think a arts degree is worth something, which it's not. Let's face it, liberal arts is not worth a damn thing. Most of the time, you get a liberal arts degree, you're working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
When you didn't even have to have a degree to work at McDonald's.
No.
Now you owe student loans and you work at McDonald's and aren't able to pay them. You want, like, trades are going away, even though they should be the most important thing because they pay really well.
Yeah.
Like you look at some of the like we know a carpenter. He makes cabinetry. He makes an assload on cabinetry, and he's his own boss, so he charges what he needs to, wood supplies and time. When I do surveillance installs, when I had my own business, 150 for two people an hour is what I charge for labor, and then I would just pay out the like I buy we do a basic system. You pay for that, and then per hour. That's it. If the system was $300, now you have 2 hours with two people. That's $600.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was paying one person like 50, and the other person was making like 25 because he was brand new,
Yeah.
or because again he was my brother.
Okay.
And it was one of those things like I was able to do that without any learning, like without having to go to school. I was doing that in school. Schooling isn't that great anymore, and homeschooling would probably be a lot better route.
Well,
The problem is people don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
People don't have time or the know-how or the ability, and people aren't willing to make that happen. Like with my wife and me, if I was because I make the most, if she wanted to, let's say, quit her job and do homeschooling when we had our kids younger, let's say I was making a decent amount at that time, I would have said yes. I would have socialized them a different way. I would take them to the park. We would do different things. They learn how to go to the dump. They learn how to make money off of like aluminum because our dump takes aluminum,
Yeah.
but they don't take plastic. So I teach them that way. They learn how to get an allowance from that, saving cans, doing this and that.
Which we used to do all the time.
Exactly. We don't do that as much anymore now that we're adults. And maybe we should. But I donate all my aluminum cans to the dog pound because they use that to get money for food for the dogs. I like animals, so it makes sense to me.
It does. Makes full on sense. Well, we're gonna end it on that note. You guys are listening to P&J Kings of the Late Night Show. Make sure you guys subscribe. Stay tuned to next week's show.
It'll be probably around the same time. I work late, so I get off late, and we'll do it probably Wednesday, probably right around 1, 2 in the morning.
That sounds about right.
It works for us for now. Could change in the future. We'll
Who
find
knows?
out.
Wednesday, 1 to 2 a.m. Make sure you subscribe.
See you next
Later.
time.
Boom. Dude, that was a long session.
Of course it is.